Chosen one, listen carefully. This message you about to hear. The veil is about to lift. You were never meant to find this message by accident. If these words feel like they are speaking directly to you, it is because they are. Something ancient within you has been stirring for a long time. Tonight, the veil begins to lift, and the truth you have avoided is ready to speak. Why you always felt different. From childhood, you sensed you did not fully belong. Rooms felt loud even when people were silent. You felt emotions that were not yours, burdens you could not explain. That difference was never weakness, it was awareness. The weight your spirit has carried. Your spirit has been carrying lessons from pain, loss, and patience. You survived things that should have broken you. Not because you were lucky, but because you were prepared. Heavy spirits are trusted with heavy assignments. What it really means to be chosen. Being chosen is not about praise or status. It is about responsibility when others rest. It is about standing firm when truth is uncomfortable. The chosen are refined through pressure, not comfort. The silent awakening. Your awakening did not arrive with fireworks. It came quietly through exhaustion, isolation, and questions. Moments when you could no longer pretend. Awakening begins when the soul refuses to sleep again. Signs you could no longer ignore. You started seeing patterns others dismissed. You felt called to step away from noise and chaos. Your heart rejected what once excited you. This was not confusion, it was alignment. Why the world tries to dim you. A bright spirit exposes what others hide. Truth makes lies uncomfortable. That is why you were misunderstood, criticized, or doubted. Not everyone wants the light turned on. Isolation was part of the process. You were separated to strengthen your voice. Alone time sharpened your discernment. Silence trained you to hear what matters. Isolation was not punishment, it was preparation. The battles no one saw. Your hardest fights happened internally. Smiling while breaking inside. Trusting while being disappointed. These battles built spiritual endurance. Your spiritual memory is returning. You are remembering who you were before fear. Before people told you to shrink. Before survival replaced purpose. Your soul recognizes this moment. The power you underestimate. You influence without speaking. Your presence shifts rooms. Your energy unsettles falsehood. That power grows when you stop doubting it. Why this message found you now. Timing matters in spiritual truth. You could not hear this before. Now you are ready to receive it. Readiness is louder than curiosity. The call you can no longer ignore. Your spirit is asking for commitment. Not to perfection but to truth. Not to fear but to trust. This is the moment you choose alignment. Step into who you really are. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You were not made to blend in. You were made to awaken others by being yourself. Final awakening message. If this spoke to you, it is because you are not alone. Your journey is real and it matters. Stand firm in your awakening and walk with purpose. Like the video, comment your awakening moment, and subscribe to Return to Awakening to continue this journey together. The burden of seeing too much. You notice what others overlook. Energy shifts, unspoken intentions, hidden motives. This awareness can feel exhausting at times. But seeing clearly is the price of spiritual sight. Why rest never feels complete. Sleep refreshes the body, not always the soul. Your spirit has been active even while you rest. Processing, healing, remembering, releasing. That is why tiredness followed you without explanation. The test of compassion. You were tested through forgiveness. Hurt by those you try to help. betrayed while remaining kind. Compassion was your initiation, not your weakness. When everything started falling apart, loss was not random. Doors closed to redirect your path. People left to free your future. Destruction often precedes divine clarity. Why you follow the crowd? Trends never fulfilled you. Shallow conversations drained you. You craved meaning over approval. Your soul was designed for depth, not distraction. The internal war between fear and truth. Part of you wanted comfort. Another part demanded growth. Fear tried to keep you familiar. Truth kept pulling you forward. Your emotional depth is a signal. You feel deeply because you are tuned finely. Joy reaches you fully. Pain teaches you quickly. This depth allows healing beyond words. Why you were pushed to the edge. Pressure reveals hidden strength. Moments of breaking revealed your core. You learned who you were without support. Edges are where awakening accelerates. The call to discernment. Not everyone deserves access to you. Energy is exchanged, not wasted. Boundaries protect sacred purpose. Discernment is spiritual maturity. Your role was never small. You were not meant to simply survive. Your life carries ripples beyond your sight. Every healed wound becomes guidance for others. Purpose expands as courage grows. When silence became your teacher, you learned more in solitude than crowds. Stillness sharpened your intuition. Answers arrived without noise. Silence trained you for inner leadership. The moment you stopped running, you faced yourself honestly. No masks, no excuses. Only truth and responsibility. That moment shifted everything. Why your heart remained soft. Hardness was never your destiny. Love survived despite pain. Empathy endured despite betrayal. A soft heart is a powerful weapon. The path ahead is clearing. Confusion is fading slowly. Alignment feels quieter but stronger. You trust yourself more now. Clarity follows courage consistently. Remember this above all else. You are not broken. You are being shaped. You are not late. You are precisely on time. The shift others can feel but can't explain. People sense something different around you now. They may not have words for it. Your presence feels heavier, calmer, clearer. That is what alignment looks like from the outside. Why old versions can't return. You tried going back to who you were. It felt empty, uncomfortable, false. Growth closed doors permanently. Some paths only exist once. The grief of outgrowing others. Not everyone can walk with you anymore. Distance formed without conflict. Love remained, alignment didn't. Outgrowing is a quiet form of loss. When your intuition got louder, your inner voice stopped whispering. It interrupted comfort. It questioned habits. Ignoring it became impossible. The energy you had to release. Guilt kept you tied to the past. Fear kept you doubting your worth. Expectations kept you small. Letting go was necessary, not selfish. Why truth made you lonely. Honesty changes dynamics. Pretending creates company. Truth filters connections. Loneliness often signals integrity. The strength you built in secret. No one saw your silent discipline. Your inner work went unnoticed. Prayers, reflection, restraint. Strength formed when no one applauded. The reason chaos followed growth. Every expansion challenges old structures. What no longer fits begins to shake. Resistance appears before breakthrough. Chaos confirms movement. Your soul recognizes this path. You feel familiarity without memory. Like you've walked this road before. Purpose feels remembered, not discovered. The soul does not forget assignments. When fear lost its control, fear still visits, but it no longer rules. You observe it instead of obeying it. Courage feels quieter now. That is mastery beginning. Why your presence triggers others. Healing exposes unhealed wounds. Your peace confronts inner chaos. Not everyone is ready for that reflection. Triggering is not your responsibility. The invitation you keep RCIVNG. Life keeps asking the same question. Will you trust yourself fully? Will you step forward without guarantees? This is the initiation moment. What happens when you stop hiding? Your voice becomes steady. Your choices feel intentional. Your energy becomes clean. Authenticity unlocks authority. You are stepping into your role. Not louder but clearer. Not forceful but grounded. Not perfect but present. This is leadership through alignment, the responsibility of awareness. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Truth changes the rules of living. You become accountable to your knowing. Awareness demands integrity. Why no longer SATISFISU? Ease feels empty without meaning. Routine feels heavy without purpose. Your spirit rejects shallow rewards. Fulfillment now requires alignment. The quiet confidence, FORMING. You no longer need validation. Certainty comes from within. Your decisions feel rooted. Confidence grows when doubt is faced. The lesson of patience. Everything could not arrive at once. Timing protected you from overwhelm. Delays refined your readiness. Patience was part of the training. When the past lost its power, memories still exist, but they no longer control you. Pain became information, not identity. You stopped reliving old wounds. Freedom began with release. The difference between knowing and living. Understanding is only the beginning. Embodiment requires courage. You started choosing truth daily. That is when change became visible. Why you were called to self-mastery. External control never suited you. You were meant to govern within. Discipline became devotion. Self-mastery unlocked spiritual authority. The energy you protect now. Not everything deserves your attention. Peace became non-negotiable. Your space turned sacred. Protection is a form of respect. When purpose feels heavy, calling carries weight. Responsibility feels isolating at times. But burden confirms significance. Light assignments are not given to strong spirits. The moment you stopped explaining yourself, justifications faded. Clarity replaced defense. You let actions speak. Silence became confidence. Why your journey is nonlinear. Growth spirals, not straight lines. Revisiting lessons deepens wisdom. Progress includes reflection. Nonlinearity ensures depth. The inner alignment you feel now. Mind, heart, and spirit cooperate. Resistance softens. Decisions feel cleaner. Alignment brings peace without certainty. You are being prepared for impact. Your voice is refining. Your message is clarifying. Your presence is stabilizing. Impact follows preparation, the cost of walking ahead. Pioneers feel the cold first. You stepped forward without maps. Misunderstanding followed courage. Leadership often begins in isolation. Why you had to break old loyalties. Some bonds were built on survival, not truth. Staying would have meant shrinking. Choosing yourself felt like betrayal. But loyalty to truth comes first. The strength of restraint. You learned when not to react. Silence replaced impulse. Control replaced chaos. Restraint is power refined. When faith became personal, belief shifted from inherited to lived. Questions deepened devotion. Certainty matured through experience. Faith rooted itself within you. The weight of being seen. Visibility brings accountability. Your actions now carry influence. Integrity became essential. Being seen requires alignment. Why you no longer chase validation. Approval once guided your choices. Now truth does. Recognition lost its grip. Self-respect replaced applause. The discipline of consistency. Small choices shaped your strength. Daily alignment built trust within. Consistency stabilized your path. Greatness forms quietly. When you stopped fighting who you are. Resistance dissolved into acceptance. Your nature became your ally. Energy returned. Peace followed authenticity. The invisible support around you. Guidance appears in subtle ways. Timing aligns unexpectedly. Help arrives when needed. You are not walking alone. Why you were given such depth. Surface living never fit you. Depth allows transformation. Understanding heals beyond words. Your depth is your assignment. The stability you now embody. You respond, not react. Grounded presence replaces urgency. Emotional balance strengthens intuition. Stability amplifies impact. What comes next feels different. Not rushed. Not forced. Rooted and intentional. This is conscious movement. You are ready for the next phase. Preparation has matured. Resistance has softened. Trust has grown. The path is opening, the refinement you did not notice. While you focused on surviving, you were being refined. Reactions softened, awareness sharpened. Old triggers lost their grip. Refinement happens quietly. Why your circle grew smaller. Not everyone could follow your frequency. Some relationships ended without drama. Space was created for alignment. Smaller circles protect sacred growth. The moment you chose responsibility. You stopped blaming circumstances. Ownership replaced complaint. Power returned to your hands. Responsibility activated authority. When confusion turned into discernment. Questions became filters. You sensed truth beyond words. Clarity emerged through listening. Discernment replaced doubt. The balance between humility and power. You learned strength does not need arrogance. Confidence does not require noise. Humility grounded your power. Balance stabilized your influence. Why your presence calms others. Regulated energy invites safety. Your stillness slows chaos. People breathe easier around you. Peace is contagious. The courage to stand alone. Agreement was no longer necessary. Conviction guided your steps. Solitude strengthened resolve. Standing alone clarified purpose. When your values became non-negotiable. Compromise felt costly. Integrity set firm boundaries. You chose alignment over convenience. Values anchored your path. The difference between control and trust. You released the need to manage outcomes. Faith replaced force. Surrender sharpened direction. Trust allowed flow. Why your voice feels steadier now. Fear no longer shakes it. Truth stabilizes expression. You speak with intention. A steady voice carries authority. The patience to let things unfold. Urgency faded. Timing earned respect. You learned to wait without doubt. Patience became strength. What you are stepping into is EARNED. Nothing here is accidental. Every lesson prepared you. Every delay protected you. This moment was built, the inner order you established. Chaos once ruled your inner world. Now structure supports your peace. Thoughts move with intention. Order strengthens spiritual clarity. Why you no longer fear the unknown. Uncertainty once felt threatening. Now it feels expansive. You trust what unfolds without proof. The unknown became a doorway. The shift from survival to creation. You stopped merely getting through days. Vision replaced endurance. You began shaping instead of reacting. Creation follows healing. When your intuition became trusted, you stopped questioning every inner nudge. Action followed insight. Results confirmed alignment. Trust deepened through experience. The release of old identities. Labels no longer define you. Past roles fell away. You allowed evolution without apology. Identity became fluid and true. Why stillness feels powerful now. Silence no longer feels empty. Presence fills the space. Stillness amplifies awareness. Power rests in calm. The responsibility of being grounded. Others look to you unconsciously. Stability influences environments. Your grounding anchors moments. Presence carries leadership. When emotional clarity emerged. Feelings no longer overwhelm you. You name them, not drown in them. Clarity replaced confusion. Emotional literacy strengthened wisdom. The difference between force and flow. You no longer push outcomes. You align and move. Effort softened into grace. Flow respects timing. Why your path feels unique. Comparison no longer applies. Your journey follows inner truth. Uniqueness became accepted. Purpose does not duplicate. The quiet joy you now carry. Not excitement, but contentment. Not noise, but warmth. Joy settled gently within. Peace became familiar. You are no longer PRPRING. Integration has begun. Lessons are embodied. Movement feels natural. This is lived awakening, the awakening of your senses. The world feels sharper now. You notice energies without explanation. Colors, sounds, and emotions carry deeper meaning. Your senses guide, not just observe. Why you feel both light and heavy. Energy builds and releases within you. Joy lifts, truth weighs. Both are necessary for balance. The heaviness confirms significance. The moment you stopped seeking approval, you realized others cannot validate your purpose. External praise became optional. Internal certainty replaced doubt. Authenticity no longer negotiable. When your spirit speaks louder than your mind. Thoughts once ruled decisions. Now intuition leads action. Your spirit communicates through subtle signs. Listening became your strength. The power of embracing your story. Every wound, every triumph, every shadow. Nothing wasted, nothing meaningless. Your story is the blueprint of awakening. Ownership transforms suffering into guidance. Why you no longer fear change. Transformation became familiar. Resistance softened over time. Change is recognized as opportunity. Growth thrives in motion. The silent alignment with your higher purpose. You feel drawn without question. Direction becomes instinctual. You no longer chase, you respond. Purpose guides every step naturally. When your energy became your language, people sense you before they hear you. Vibrations communicate more than words. Presence conveys truth effortlessly. Energy became your signature. The shift from control to surrender. Trying to manage outcomes once dominated you. Now trust guides decisions. Surrender brings clarity and flow. Power comes from letting life lead. Why your heart keeps expanding. Love is no longer conditional. Compassion rises even when tested. Empathy is your superpower. Your heart carries healing for others. The moment you recognized your impact, Small actions ripple far beyond sight. Influence is subtle yet powerful. You affect what cannot be seen. Awareness of this fuels responsibility. Your spirit is ready to rise. Preparation has shaped every aspect of you. Lessons, trials, and solitude align perfectly. The next phase calls for action. Your awakening is stepping into itself fully, the awakening of your true vibration. You no longer fit the frequencies that once surrounded you. Your energy hums at a higher resonance. People feel it even before they understand it. Your vibration is a signal to those ready for truth. Why you can no longer compromise your essence. Pretending drains your soul. Conformity feels suffocating. Every compromise leaves a mark on spirit. Integrity became the only path forward. The moment you felt invisible but seen. Others overlooked your gifts, yet you knew their weight. Your spirit recognized its value. Loneliness became a mirror, not a prison. Being unseen sharpened inner vision. When truth became undeniable, illusions collapsed quietly. You could no longer ignore subtle nudges. Truth demanded acknowledgement. Denial no longer served your growth. The silence that speaks louder than words. Solitude revealed what noise could not. Lessons arrived in pauses, not explanations. Stillness became your teacher. Your spirit listens where ears cannot. Why your spirit cares more than you think. You absorbed pain others discarded. You held space for emotions not yours. Your soul trained through unseen burdens. Carrying is proof of purpose. The awakening is both gentle and intense. Moments of peace are punctuated by storms. Growth never waits for comfort. Transformation is tender, yet unrelenting. Intensity confirms evolution. When fear tries to return, it whispers familiar doubts. But now you observe, not obey. Fear lost its power over choice. Courage became habitual. The power of accepting your complexity. Contradictions exist without shame. Light and shadow coexist naturally. You stopped judging your depth. Complexity became clarity. Why your presence heals silently. Just being near you stabilizes energy. People feel safety without knowing why. Your calmness teaches without speaking. Healing moves through authenticity. The moment you realized you were never alone. Guidance arrived in signs, coincidences, and synchronicities. Invisible hands directed steps. The universe orchestrated subtle support. You are part of a greater design. Your next step requires trust. Every preparation leads here. Every lesson aligns with what's next. Surrender is not giving up, it's stepping fully into power. Your awakening is calling you forward, the invisible threads connecting you. Everything in your life has been intentional. People, events, and challenges were not random. A pattern emerges only when you look closely. Your spirit recognizes these threads, even when your mind does not. Why you feel both fragile and unstoppable. Vulnerability once terrified you. Now it is your strength. Every scar, every tear, every failure fuels resilience. Fragility coexists with unshakable purpose. When the world refuses to understand, you speak truths that unsettle others. Your presence challenges comfort zones. Criticism and doubt are inevitable. Misunderstanding confirms you are on the right path. The power of embracing your shadow. Every suppressed part of you holds wisdom. Denial once blocked growth. Facing darkness illuminates hidden strengths. Shadow work transforms suffering into insight. Why your soul longs for alignment. Distraction feels exhausting. Noise feels overwhelming. Your spirit craves simplicity and truth. Alignment restores energy and purpose. The moment you stopped seeking permission, you realized no one can authorize your existence. Validation became optional. You claimed your voice and space fully. Freedom rose from self-recognition. When silence became your ally, talking less revealed more. Observation became a superpower. Stillness created clarity. Silence refined intuition. The burden and blessing of seeing clearly. Truth exposes layers others ignore. Your insight sometimes isolates you, but understanding shapes action. Seeing clearly is a sacred responsibility. Why your energy attracts and rejects. Not everyone resonates with your frequency. Those aligned feel drawn effortlessly. Those unaligned are repelled instinctively. Energy filters connection before words ever do. The awakening of your inner leadership. Influence no longer comes from titles. Your presence guides naturally. People follow the integrity of your actions. Leadership arises from embodiment, not demand. When your heart and mind align, decisions become effortless. Conflicts resolve internally before manifesting. Peace flows from congruence. Alignment brings clarity that reasoning alone cannot provide. Your spirit is now calling you deeper. Everything external is preparing you for internal mastery. Lessons continue, but you are stronger. Obstacles no longer intimidate. Your awakening is not a phase, it is evolution, the invitation to embody your truth. No more hiding behind expectation. Your essence demands recognition. Every choice now is a reflection of who you are. Truth cannot be postponed, it must be lived. Why you are drawn to the unseen. The world of senses feels limited. Your curiosity pulls toward energy, patterns, and spirit. Invisible forces guide you silently. Your intuition deciphers what logic cannot. When everything seems to shake, life dismantles structures that no longer serve you. Chaos is often a prelude to clarity. Breakdowns reveal hidden foundations. Shaking confirms you are ascending. The strength you gained in silence. Nobody witnessed your late-night battles. Your prayers, reflection, and self-discipline went unseen. Strength grows in the unseen moments. Quiet work becomes unshakable power. Why your awakening feels both gentle and harsh. Love for yourself rises, yet illusions collapse. Comfort fades, truth rises. Growth asks you to surrender old habits. The process nurtures and challenges simultaneously. When your spirit speaks in visions and signs, messages arrive in dreams, patterns, and synchronicities. Your soul communicates in symbols. Meaning becomes clear when you pay attention. The unseen always guides the awakened. The moment you stopped fighting your destiny, resistance felt familiar, yet futile. You realized alignment requires surrender. Obstacles became lessons, not walls. Your path flows when you stop struggling. Why you now see energy instead of people. Faces fade, vibration is clear. Intentions reveal themselves before words are spoken. You respond to frequency, not pretense. Your awareness filters reality. The burden of holding unseen truths. You absorb what others avoid. Pain, injustice, and hidden wisdom rest in your soul. Carrying is heavy but necessary. Your burden is proof of trust from the universe. When your heart starts guiding your logic, emotion and reason begin to harmonize. Decisions feel natural rather than forced. You sense alignment before it manifests. The heart becomes your compass. Why your presence now changes environments. Rooms shift when you enter. Energy adjusts to your frequency. People feel calm, unsettled, or awakened. Presence carries power beyond words. The next level requires courage and trust. Everything prepares you for a new phase. Your spirit calls for bold steps. Trust guides where vision cannot. Awakening is not passive, it demands action. Chosen one, listen carefully, this message you about to hear. Now is the moment to fully embrace who you are. Step into your power, claim your truth, and honor the spirit that has carried you this far. Do not shrink, do not wait. Like this video to strengthen your awakening. Comment below your experience, your truth, your calling. Let the world feel your presence. Subscribe to return to awakening and join the circle of those rising into their highest selves. Your awakening starts here. Your mission continues now. Stand, rise, and step into your destiny.